that there was a report the government had been covering up.
Guys, welcome to Sunday's video, where we take a look at your comments in the second half, and we have a little natter in the first half. Or a natter, not a nadder, a natter. I think a natter is something totally different. Anyway, let's start off with, there's so much to talk about this week, even though I think that YouTube, I think they found my channel, because not many of my videos reached over 1,000 views, and I get the feeling that YouTube don't like pushing them. When you look at the amount of people that they push the videos to, is very low at the moment. Anyway, you guys are watching, that's all that matters. My local people, the regular people who search for me and search for the truth, that's all that matters to me. So yeah, we're on the right track, I think. Couple of things. I was looking at the English election coming up, and yeah, not a big choice there, is there, between Liberal and Conservative. Those two, it's like choosing between Singh and Trudeau. It's really bad choice there. At least we've got something to look forward to in Canada. At least we've got the potential of Poilievre having a landslide win in the next election, and that should put Canada right back on course for being one of the best countries in the world. And possibly, if we can open up the LNG and the oil fields, and just it could be the richest country in the world. Yeah, I know. Think about that, guys. Canada, the richest country in the world. Anyway, talking about opening up LNG and gases and carbon and things, Poilievre was he told us about the release of the PMO office, the numbers that Trudeau's been hiding about the carbon tax. So let's just have a listen, a little it's one of them mornings, a little listen to Poilievre.
We just learned moments ago that this government has been keeping a $20 billion secret. Wow. Common sense conservatives have been demanding the government release the real cost of the carbon tax after the parliamentary budget officer revealed that there was a report the government had been covering up and had gagged him from releasing about the actual cost to Canadians. Now, because common sense conservatives brought forward this motion before the committee, before the House, because of our relentless questioning and the pressure that is weighing heavily on Liberal MPs, the government has finally relented and released part of the information. It had to be pulled out like a rotten tooth, Madam Speaker, and rotten it is. $20 billion per year in lost GDP as a result of the carbon tax. That works out to $1,200 per family in extra annual costs for Canadians. $20 billion for 17 million families is $1,200 a family in higher costs that this Prime Minister has been covering up.
We were right all along. Whenever he's hiding something, there's something to hide. The more he hides things, the more things there are that are wrong with Canada. Like, he's hiding who the people are who are the traitors to Canada.
Our democracy is at stake here. So why are you continuing to prop up the government who you say isn't taking democracy seriously? Why do you continue to prop them up?
So it'll get leaked. It'll eventually get leaked, and then he'll just look as bad as what he is with the carbon tax. Just so you know, it's actually got a little bit warmer now. We're getting into summer. It's warmer. It's not what Gilbo says is happening. You know, that word that we can't really say, or we get warnings all over the videos. It's it's what we would call summer. Summer is here, so it's going to get warmer. Brace yourselves, guys. Summer is here, on the doorstep. It's going to hit you like a. Anyway, let's move on to the comments. Just before we crack on with the comments, do you notice anything a little bit odd about this video that Fredericton put out on Twitter? Except for the fact that the zebra crossing is a really weird colour. Check out his roller. That's really strange. Anyway, the comments. Finally, we get to the comments. I question that word boiling, myth or truth. So I made a video about, you know, the weather and how it affects everybody and how it affects your taxes, because the weather does affect your taxes pretty much. You know, the warmer it gets, the more taxes we pay. Yeah. But the more taxes we pay, it doesn't seem to get cooler. So all we tend to do is you know what? The government have even said that it's never going to get any cooler, because in 2030 our taxes are going to be through the roof on the weather. So yeah, they already know it isn't working, because they've already planned to raise the taxes to a price that nobody can afford. Anyway, this liberal WEF woke scaremongering has got to stop. Yeah, you had a lot to say on this. The ratio of comments was huge. There was a lot of comments on this video compared to other videos. Raina said,
the only thing Canadians have to do against that word that I can't say is to vote for Pierre Poilievre come election time.
Yeah, that's a good way to change the weather tax. Patty says,
every time I see or hear the wacko, I end up feeling insulted by him and his gaslighting.
Yeah. Yeah, Patty, let's get rid of the wacko. Leslie says,
when I was younger, the world was going to experience an ice age, and by now Florida would be covered in ice. Did we solve the ozone layer and the acid rain catastrophes? That word I can't say is the flavour of the day.
Yeah, well, it's a weather tax. That's all it is. It's a weather tax. The warmer it gets, the more tax we pay. And even if it doesn't get warmer, they're estimating it's going to get warmer. So basically, what they're saying is that the weather tax isn't going to work, because they've already scheduled that it's going to go up. You get where I'm going there? It's already scheduled to go up, so they already know it isn't going to work. Nobody else is saying that, are they? Joe says,
only reached 20 degrees once so far this year on Prince Edward Island, Canada. Not boiling here, man.
No. Have you got snakes, Joe? Probably does. A lot of people keep snakes. Lynn Jensen says,
JT neglects to mention or say that he won't be here in 2030.
No, he'll be gone in a year. He'll be gone. And that's something, at least Canadians have something to look forward to. Eh? He's going to be gone in a year. Definitely, 100%. If he isn't gone in a year, then that's just interference. Yeah, and Jagmeet, he's up for that. Sylvie says,
meanwhile, the chemtrails are continually present in the sky. What's being released? We do not know.
Schwags.
And to be very clear, cloud seeding and contrails are two very different things. I am not trying to be mean here, just trying to educate. Chemtrails theories are just making people scared.
Yeah, well, there's a difference between what an airliner puts out behind him in an atmosphere that has water vapor in it. Like, how do we get clouds? And basically, that's what is behind airplanes mostly. Is just a man-made cloud from the heat of the engine. There's a thing here showing that, yeah, cloud seeding is a thing, and it's been used in the Emirates. But they're saying it wasn't the cause of the floods that they had there. But they usually only have about 5 inches of rain there a year, and it got flooded for some reason. So I just can't believe anything that anyone says anywhere, anytime, except for me, obviously. So yeah, silver iodide or ice is dropped into the clouds. The ice crystals grow and consume moisture from the cloud, and the moisture falls as rain and snow. And here's a picture of one of them things on the wings. So it's actually on the wings. It's not the back of the airplane. And they can make it. They can make it rain, which is pretty strange. Is this new technology though? No, it's actually been around since the 1940s. It's being used in dozens of countries, including Canada. Despite that, interestingly, it was only recently that scientists have been able to prove it works by distinguishing between natural and induced rain or snow. Really interesting topic, that, to be honest. I don't really know enough about it. I used to be a private pilot, so I know all about clouds, and I used to fly sailplanes. So I've been in and paragliders. So I've been in many thermals, and I know how strong the wind and the cloud can be. But to create rain. Yeah, it's that's chemistry beyond my car talking. Back to the Future 2025. That's where we're going to go in 2025. Back to the Future. Who wishes we were back in the 80s, eh? Or the 90s, or maybe just before 2015. Sarondo said,
Canadians did not support a carbon tax in the last two elections. When you get less than 30% of the vote is not democracy, not the democracy. This is not a majority. 2/3 of the country did not want Justin in power. Our system is broken.
well, when you get a minority government and then the other government, who it's basically the same government just with a different guy leading it, says, hey, let's join together and make a majority government because we both had the same ideas, then yeah, that's where democracy starts to sort of crumble a little bit. Well, I think so anyway. What do you guys think? Louise said,
Roll up those sleeves and steal more tax money from the plebs. So sick of this.
yeah, that's basically what I have a video I got planned for Tuesday about what Trudeau's going to do with all the tax money, even though they said something completely different. It's actually, he's announced, I think it was in Italy, he announced that it's, yeah, he's got plans for your tax money, guys. Just tune in on Tuesday and you'll see. Holy Man said,
In the 90s and early 2000s really were the good old days. I'd love to go back to that.
well, just, I have this channel here. I have another channel where I know it's a small channel. I started it a couple of months ago because I go to thrift stores, right? I look at all this stuff from the 80s and 90s that I used to own. That some of the stuff I wish I owned back then in the 80s, but I just couldn't afford it. You know, too busy trying to live life back in the 80s. I have a look at this stuff. I plug it in. I try it. If you're interested in 80s, 90s, and vintage electronics, just pop over to Thrifttronics and say hi. Thanks. It's a unashameful plug for my other channel. Keith said,
I truly believe he's just acting and doesn't believe anything he spews. That maniacal laugh and he was talking in Calgary shows he's laughing at us.
Yeah, he's definitely laughing at us. Birchall at the Wharf, high on the East Coast. What the right coast, is it?
Well, after closer examination, the maple leaf on the Liberal logo looks more like a crown than a maple leaf. Power really has gone to their heads.
And then sing, sell out, sing. What is he doing? He's looked at, like, sell out, sing. Reporters shout out to NDP Jagmeet Singh, why are you propping up the corrupt Liberals? Yeah, why? Why is he doing that? What the heck is wrong with this guy? He's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. He's so, when you listen to him, he's so wanting to stay in power. He's so desperate to stay in this coalition. It is totally unbelievable the way that he speaks and the way that he's like, oh, but the question should be. But this reporter in that video, she was absolutely amazing. She absolutely stuck to the question and said, no, that's not the question. This is the question. Why are you propping up the Liberals? And yeah, he's propping them up. We all know why he's propping them up. Brian said
He looked nervous. The cat is out of the bag when reporters are putting it to him like that. He looks like a guy who knows the jig is up.
Unfortunately, Brian, the jig isn't up because all he has to do is just keep saying, yeah, we support the Liberals, but we've got questions to ask. It's not an easy ride for them. Keith says,
What is wrong with Singh? He's going to lose his seat and party status for the NDP.
he will, yeah. The NDP probably will, just the results for the next election, you would think would be a total landslide for Conservative and absolutely nothing for Liberals and NDP. You can guarantee that the Bloc or the Greens are going to get a lot more votes than what they've had. That is for sure. That is what we think, or that is what I think will happen. George said,
Jagmeet, we are going to ask questions about when I'm eligible for my full parliamentary pension. Absolutely disgusting hypocrite.
and Tony said,
Sell out Singh.
definitely. Just want to finish off with there's a petition going around. It's you get till October the 2nd to sign it. and it's asking for a vote of no confidence. Petition 5024. We, the undersigned citizens and residents of Canada, call upon the House of Commons to call for a vote of no confidence and the election to follow immediately. Should this request be denied, we ask that the 45th general election remain on its original date or to be moved 1 week earlier instead of 1 week later, per Bill C-65. It'll never happen. But what can you do if you don't do something? Till next time.